This is a huge story on Morgan Dollars, my friends. I'm going to explain to you what happened today at the shop. Help me out with the thumbs up. That really helps get these videos out to more and more people. Please put stop the mail in the comment section right now. That will help trigger the algorithm to send this video out to more and more people. Don't forget, we got the big 10,000 subscriber giveaway. We're about 71 subscribers away from 9,000. We don't need that many more. We're going to have a little bit of gold in this next big giveaway. And don't forget, we do small giveaways every single week on this channel, at least for the rest of this year. I'm probably going to extend it into next year as well. Maybe through January, February. We will see how things go. Let's keep it going, my friends. I need your help to get to 10,000 subscribers. Keep sharing it. Keep giving me the thumbs up. Let's get into it. An older man came in with his granddaughter. The man was 101 years old. The granddaughter is 60. Just turned 60 last week. They brought in 4,500 Morgan dollars. They were in sealed bags. Canvas bags. Okay? They were in canvas bags, a lot better bags than I'm showing on the screen right now. But you get the idea what a canvas bag looks like. They were sealed. He got these from different casinos in Vegas. They may not have been all coming from Vegas directly when he got them, but eventually he said most of them are coming from Vegas or Atlantic City casinos. Some he got from the casinos directly, like Paris Casino, like the Bellagio, like Circus, like Caesar's Palace. Some of these have names on the bags. Some of these do not have names on the bags. Maybe they didn't come from casinos. But the auction houses he went to said they were coming from casinos. They were in like 250 lot bags. Sealed, okay? We had to go get a cutter for the thread there. Whatever you call it, a thread cutter from Walmart to start opening these bags up. And the daughter didn't want nothing, the granddaughter didn't want nothing to do with these. And he's saying, I'm 100 years old. I feel great. No cane, no walker, no wheelchair. Walked in by himself with a couple bags himself. Went back out, so we helped him get the bags in. And the granddaughter says, is there any way we can just do a deal right now? I'm like, yeah, we can. But I said, I really don't want to offer you anything right now. I said, if you want us to process through these bags, as we got a couple options here. Now remember, he's got 18 bags. Claiming there's 250 coins in each bag. Some of them say 250, some of them have no information on them whatsoever. So we really don't know the full count. You know, we're just going to take the information off the bag. And yeah, I said, I can offer you a base price for one. I says, but I'm going to price them at all 1921s, and that's what's hoping, you know, I'm going to get. Or we can hold off on that. We can process it through them and see what we come up with and offer you a deal afterwards. So I said, look, if we start finding some rare coins in here, something could be going off for grading. So we gave him a couple options. And I said, we can pay you out some now. You know, I can give you the base now and tell you afterwards what the value of your coins are and give you some more options if we start finding some key dates, costs, and cities. Just don't know. So she says, well, let's just hold off on payment for now. She says, how long is it going to take you all to go through these? I'm like, well, we got 18 bags here. You're saying there's 250 coins, and we got to verify that. I says, we do have a couple options here. I said, we can send these off to auction houses for one. I said, because, you know, it's a mystery bag. We don't know what's in these bags. She says, no, I'd rather you go through them. So we started going through the first bag. We went through one bag already, my friend. We found 13 Carson Cities already. A lot of them were 1921. Some of them were, you know, just random common date coins. The condition of these coins are probably, some of them were calls. Some were very good. Some of them were extra fine. Some of them were fine. I wouldn't call any of them were BU coins. Close. but I wouldn't qualify them as BU coins. Some of them had a lot of luster on it. A lot of 21s had a lot of luster on them. You know, you're looking at average grade coins, like very good grade. Something like this that I own myself. We got some projects that we have this to go through. So how are we going to handle this at the shop? I'm like a little kid in the candy store here. I had to come home and shoot this video now. I couldn't wait. I've not got a video out yet today. So this is my first video today. This is my friends. It's getting kind of late, right? I'm in the rush to go back to the coin shop, start going through more of these bags. I'm like a kid in the candy store. Don't know what we're going to find next. So we might have to get another coin shop involved, especially for some of these Carson cities. Seeing what these people want to do next, if they want to send them for grading, give them a fair price. We're going to have to make a little bit of money from the other coin shop. So we're going to have to disclose that to them. My recommendation probably going to be to them. Once we get process through all this stuff for them, pay out for the grading, and we can go from there. We're going to get another coin shop involved to help us grade these coins, especially the ones we can send out for grading, get their opinion on it. We're probably going to do that after we get processed all with our coin shops already been notified. We're going to probably need their help on this, and they're willing to help. So that is where we're at. You know, you never know what's going to come to the doors next. And it's kind of surprising. It's kind of interesting. The granddaughter that wants nothing to do with it. But you see this from time to time where they just want the fiat dollar. And they want nothing to do with the silver whatsoever. And so I asked this guy. I says, sir, I says, how long ago did you buy these? He says, well, early. He says, some of them I got in like the early 1996 range, 1994, when the casino started to change over from coinage to the paper tickets. Some casinos didn't change over into the later 2000s. And I'm talking the early 2000s, like 2008, 2009. Some casinos did not do it until a little bit later. Some casinos, from my understanding, did not fully implement this until about 2018, 2019, and there's very few slot machines left across the country that are accepting coinage as to play. So some of these coins have been in bags, have not seen the light of day since maybe the 1996 range, 1995, 1994. You get the picture of what I'm trying to say here. Some of these coins have not seen the light since these days. Some of these coins, bags, have the casino's name on them. Some of them don't. One was a casino bank, it said on it. That's all it said on it. So it could be a mix from a bank and a casino. Who knows? We're interested to go through these coins. I'll give you an update when I know more of what's in these lots. Stay tuned, my friends. We're going to have more videos about this one. See if we anything. Now, the Carson cities we did find, they were common Carson cities. They weren't worth a lot, but most Carson cities are worth a little bit at least. So with that all being said, it's interesting. We could have made one fair offer across for the whole lot. But we're trying to be honest with people that come into the shop, and they appreciated it. We got trays out on the back table. The owner's there now going through this. He's like a little kid in the candy store. This is how he started his business, my friends. Started selling Morgan and Peace dollars in a insurance company. It either got started from, I can never remember how he says this. It started in an Allstate. I think it changed to a State Farm or vice versa. It was those two insurance companies. He had a little section in this insurance company, privately owned, but it was still through Allstate or State Farm at the time. That's how he started selling coins. Getting Morgan and Peace dollars and selling them at the insurance company. That's how our owners got started in the coin business. The guy who owned the insurance business at the time absolutely liked this guy and said, yeah, you can have a little section in my insurance business. Take the first coin and buy this by the door. He says, I'm not using it. Take that section right there. Pay me XYZ a month. So that's how he started. So this is kind of, he's like a little kid in the candy store too, going through these Morgans. Could there be a couple piece dollars mixed in? Yeah, I'm assuming there will be. But they're all marked Morgans. So maybe they are all Morgan dollars. We will see. We will see what's going on next. Check out channel sponsor Pinbacks, my friends. They got extra fine Morgan dollars right now in stock. 1879. Excuse me, 1878 to 1904. Extra fine condition. Check them out. Pick up some nice Morgans for your collections, for your stack. Check them out. They got silver quarters back in stock. They got Washington silver quarters back in stock. So if anybody's been looking for Washington silver quarters, check out channel sponsor Pinbacks for your Washington silver quarters as well. That's why I put some silver quarters down to remind me that Pinbacks has them back in stock. They have a few bags of $100 face bags. They got rolls ready to move, ready to ship. Thank you, channel sponsor Pinbacks, for sponsoring this channel, Coin Shop Chris. Thank you to the viewer out there, because it's not possible without you folks. So a lot of information about these Morgan dollars going to be coming, my friends. I'm excited. Like I said, I'm a little kid in a candy store to start going through more of them to see what we find. It's just going to take time to go through these bags. We're being very, very careful of what's in these bags. We're writing down each bag. We got trays out. And what we're doing is we're putting them in Ziploc bags right now. Once we get done with the bag, saying what bag they came from, we're going to make a fair offer. We will see what these people want to do with some of these coins. We may be going in for grading. I'll keep you folks posted on all this. Interesting times. You don't see this type of lots too many times that come into this shop. I've seen it one other time with bags from casinos. And it's interesting, this merchandise is still out there in hordes. It's still out there, my friends. We've seen them online. If you look on eBay, you know, you see rolls of Morgans from this casino. It's got the casino label on it. Whatever, they're still out there. It just blows my mind that this much inventory from the casinos is still out there. It's just amazing to see this stuff. Amazing to see these casino bags. And the bags are probably worth a little something as well. So we had to cut up one bag because the stitching was so tight on it. We couldn't really crimp it out. So we had to cut the bag open from Paris Casino. Kind of destroyed the bag, but it is what it is. We told them that. They're fine with it. They're not worried about the bags too much, but we're going to try to save every bag as possible as we can. One bag, another bag is so tight, it's like wrapped into a square. And it's just wrapped so tight, sewn on all the edges. They're all sewn, no tape, all sewn. And it's just a blank bag. So who knows what's going to be in that bag when we get to it. Look, I know he's at least, the owner's on at least the second bag now. We got, 16 more bags to go through. And it's over, the count is roughly right now about 4,500 coins, my friends. We got a lot of work to do. We're probably going to be going there Sunday, depending on the rest of this week. Today's been a little bit crazy this morning at the shop. We had a little bit of a line at the shop. A lot of people buying right now, my friends. That people are buying this dip. Take advantage of these opportunities. Because we're not going to see, I don't believe we're going to see many opportunities with a dip like this again. I might be wrong. I've been wrong once or twice. I can be wrong 3 or 4 more times. I'm with your boots on the ground, telling you what's going on out there. Michael's keeping us up to date at channel sponsor Pinbacks. Brian's keeping us up to date what's going on. So we cannot thank them enough to see what they're seeing on their side of the aisle. And that's how we're going to do it. We're going to keep being honest on this channel, keep being transparent, and letting you folks know what's moving. And everything's really moving, but there's some stuff that moves a lot faster right now. And 90% silver is a fast mover still for us at the shop. And I don't know what it is. Because I'm hearing still stories out there from you all. My coin shop's got plenty. Well, is your coin shop, let me just ask you all this. Is your coin shop actually sitting down with people and getting people educated about silver and gold and platinum? We take the time to do it. We don't always have the time to do it. Now, if some of these coin shops would just take a few minutes, make an appointment either before they open, after they close. Spend 10, 15 minutes with the public. Maybe do an open house on an hour after the shop closes. Maybe an hour before the shop opens. And just speak to people that are interested in silver and gold. Yes, it takes time. Okay? It takes time. We're tired. I get it. But it helps to help your people in your area know about silver and gold. Especially the ones that don't know a lot. And we do that from time to time. We can't do it all the time. There's only a few of us. And there's many questions to be asked. And just remember this, my friends. I've said this many times on this channel. I'm going to repeat it because it's very, very important to get this repeated. If you don't know something, you got to ask. You got to ask questions. Don't feel your question is stupid. Some questions we cannot answer. Like, how much silver and gold should you own? That's really an impossible question to answer. The basic answer to that question is, get as much as you can afford to get. That's the simple answer right there. Now, that's going to sound like, oh, I'm telling you go buy as much as... Well, that's what I'm not trying to say, but I am saying it. And it sounds kind of cliche, I guess. But everybody's lifestyle is different. You've heard me say that before. You heard me say this before. Everybody's lifestyle is different. Everybody has different needs. Everybody has different wants. So to tell people personally how much they need, that might be okay for now. We might find out a plan for different people at the shop. But remember, lifestyles change. So maybe you need a little bit more later. Maybe you need a little bit less. Maybe you don't need to stack as much as you were stacking before. Your lifestyle changes. Maybe there's a newborn. Maybe there's a death in the family. Maybe someone had a medical emergency. Maybe someone gets sick and needs more medical care. Like I said, lifestyles change all the time. So your spending habits are going to change in dollar terms. Okay, in dollar terms. But keep in mind, when we're talking about the dollar here, okay, when we're talking about the dollar, stop thinking about silver and gold and platinum in dollar terms. People say to me, I'm coming in, silver's down, I'm saving XYZ. Well, maybe in dollar terms you are. Or people complain, oh, that's all you offer me, I bought it for XYZ, I'm only making this. Or I'm coming in to sell because I'm making a fortune. But people don't take inflation into consideration. And this is what I'm trying to get across to the customers at the shop. This is what I'm trying to get across to the subscribers and viewers on this channel. I hope you all become subscribers. Is you got to take into account inflation. Here's the simple answer. If you don't need to sell, don't sell. Use this as your savings account for emergencies. If something comes up, that's what it's there for. And please, to the new stackers out there, I see this every now and then. Somebody said in the comment section a day or two ago, maybe it was yesterday, I only got $10 face of 90% silver. Everybody starts somewhere. Everybody started that low. Just remember that. To the new stackers out there, we all started with almost nothing. Your stack will grow in time. It takes time to grow a stack. I know this from experience. It takes time. I can sit here and tell you folks, honestly, I've gone on eBay, and I kid you not, there's some days I didn't have a lot of this to spend. Okay, maybe some weeks I had a little bit more of this to spend. Get what you can. There's been times I place in orders for a couple silver dimes on eBay with free shipping. Don't ask me how the seller's making any money off that. But that's really none of my concern there. If the seller's willing to sell it with free shipping for 2 or 3 dimes and pays $3 to ship them to you, that's their problem. How much are they really making off the transaction? Maybe they just want numbers. Maybe they don't care about the dollar, how much money they're getting back in dollars. Maybe they don't realize what they're doing. I don't know. Deals are out there, my friends. There have been times I bought in 1 silver dime, 2 silver dimes, a couple silver quarters, a couple silver halves. There was a guy that I dealt with on eBay about 2 years ago. And he had about 25 different half dollars. Franklin's and Walkings. He wanted $13.29 a piece for them at the time. And at the time they were worth about, in silver value, they were about $8. So I messaged the guy, and he wanted $1.29 for each coin to ship. So I messaged him. And I said to him, I said, I'm willing to take all these coins. Let's make me an offer at $10 a piece. I says, change 1 shipping fee to $9.99 to get in a small flat rate box. I said, I'll pay that one-time shipping fee. You have 1 shipping fee. You're selling me all these coins at $10 a piece. Do you want to do this deal? He says, absolutely. That's how you work with people sometimes, my friends. Got 1 shipping fee. He changed 1 listing to $9.99 to ship it. He put everything else down to free shipping. He sent me an offer on every single one. Sent me an offer on every single one at $10. So I'm there accepting. He put it all in 1 transaction. He linked all the transactions together and shipped out 1, and it worked out great. Sometimes you can work out deals. Just remember that. You know, you got to think outside the box. Remember, these little keywords, you got 1 shipping fee. You're selling to all of me, and you're not dealing with many people saying this coin out to this person, saying this coin out to this person. Sometimes these deals work out to be good for you. You just got to think outside the box. And remember, stay with, if you're going to use eBay, if you're going to use Whatnot, you're going to use Etsy, make sure you're dealing with good people. High feedbacks. That's my recommendation. If they got a 80% feedback and they got a couple of bad listings, I'm not saying I don't go buy from these people. It's all what the feedback says. Sell it and ship it. Okay, was it really the seller that didn't ship it? Or was it lost in the mail somewhere? Sometimes you take these feedbacks with a grain of salt. Because remember, you're not going to be able to please everybody in business for one. Now, if they got 1,000 feedbacks and they got like 4 or 5 negative feedbacks saying fake coin, fake coin, fake coin, you run for the hills on that one. You stay away. All right? Even sometimes people with 100% feedback, remember, people get busy. You got to keep that in mind. People get busy. Maybe something came up in their life. They couldn't ship it right off the bat. When you're dealing with people on eBay, be friendly. Because eBay's watching. If something does happen, you do get your money back, my friends. I don't want to call myself an expert of dealing with eBay. But I know how to get around eBay very, very well. Because I use it quite a lot. Okay, I use them very, very a lot to deal with them. And I have, yes, I've had some issues. But eBay's always backed me up because you got to be friendly for one. Don't swear at the seller. That's all I can say. Be nice. If you're nice to them, they don't want to deal with you because something happened. You just report them to eBay. You file a claim. It's all done online. It's a pain in the rear end. I get it. eBay takes them another 3 or 4 days. If the seller don't respond within 3 or 4 days, you get your refund. It's a pain in the rear end to wait. I get it, but that's their policy. They're trying to protect both sides here. So just remember that. If people need help, email me. I'll walk you through it. I'm here to help people. Remember that. How many channels offer that? I try to get back to emails as quick as I can. If I ever happen to miss your email, please put second attempt. That gets my attention. And just make sure it's your second email, not your first one. So I've had some people say, trick me on that one. Look, I'm human. I make mistakes too. I don't always catch the emails. Sometimes they don't come through. Sometimes they go in the spam box. Don't know why. I try to keep it up on the spam box as well. So if somehow I miss your email, I'm not trying to ignore you. I am busy too. I do have to sleep. Just remember that. But I try to get back as fast as I can. I always ask for 48 hours for me to respond back to you all. Now, if it's something urgent, like something on eBay, it's ready to end, say urgent. If you have time, something like that, I'll try to answer those emails very quickly. That sometimes it's not possible, though. Keep that in mind. I'm human. I do work, too. So if you have questions for me about silver, gold, or platinum, please email me. It's in every single description of every single video. I'm going to keep you up to date on this Morgan Dollar lot. I'm very excited about this lot. And we will see how this all pans out when we get through them all. I'll keep you folks updated. And we will talk later this afternoon. CoinShop Chris is out.